Grug's tummy rumbled, loud like thunder. Grug needed food, bad. He grabbed his trusty club, it was made of rock and wood. He left his cave, the sun was high, hot. Grug squinted, he saw trees, bushes too, maybe some berries there? Grug licked his lips, he hoped. Grug tiptoed, didn't want to scare away food. He peeked behind a bush. Empty. Grug sighed, hunting time. Grug heard a sound. A stomp, then a roar. It was close, too close. Grug gulped, he knew that sound. T-Rex! He peeked around a big rock. There it was, huge and scaly, teeth like knives, and it was looking right at him. Grug's heart pounded. Grug ran, fast as he could, he had to get away. T-Rex was faster. Grug saw something up ahead, a clearing with another dinosaur. The clearing was a mess. Trees were knocked over, their massive trunks lying haphazardly on the ground. It looked like a storm had torn through, but this was no act of nature. The air was thick with dust, making it hard to see and even harder to breathe. The dust hung in the air like a dense fog, a testament to the chaos that had just unfolded. And in the middle of this destruction, a Triceratops. It stood there, majestic and imposing, surveying the scene with a calm that belied the violence it had just been part of. It was huge, a true giant of its kind, with 3 sharp horns on its head. It looked like a creature from a nightmare, yet it was very real. The Triceratops saw the T-Rex. Its eyes narrowed, and it let out a low growl, a sound that sent shivers down the spine of anyone who heard it. It snorted loudly, a cloud of dust puffing out from its nostrils. Pawing the ground with its massive feet, it was clear that it was ready for whatever came next. It was ready for a fight. Its muscles tensed, and it lowered its head, preparing to charge. Grug watched, amazed. He forgot to be scared for a minute. The sheer power and majesty of these creatures held him spellbound. The T-Rex charged with a roar that echoed through the clearing. The Triceratops met it head-on, its horns aimed straight at the predator. Horns clashed against teeth in a brutal display of strength. The sound was terrible, a cacophony of raw power and primal fury. Grug felt the ground shake beneath his feet. The force of the battle was so intense that it seemed to make the very earth tremble. The fight was short but fierce. The T-Rex was too strong, its sheer power overwhelming the Triceratops. It roared in victory, a triumphant sound that echoed through the forest. Grug knew he had to escape. He turned and ran, his heart pounding in his chest. Section 4, Zoom to Future. Grug backed away, slowly. He didn't want to attract attention. The forest was dense, and every step he took was calculated. He could hear the rustling of leaves and the distant calls of unknown creatures. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat echoing in his ears. But then he tripped. He landed hard, right in front of a weird glowy thing. The ground was uneven, and he hadn't noticed the roots sticking out. As he fell, he braced himself for impact, but the sight of the glowing object took his breath away. It looked like water, but it shimmered. The glowy thing made a noise, a whooshing sound. It was mesmerizing, almost hypnotic. Grug had never seen anything like it. The light danced and flickered, casting strange shadows on the forest floor. Grug was scared, but also curious. He reached out his hand. It felt tingly. The sensation was unlike anything he had ever experienced. It was as if the light was alive, responding to his touch. His fingers tingled and a shiver ran down his spine. He took a deep breath and jumped. Everything went dark. For a second, the leap was both terrifying and exhilarating. As he plunged into the light, he felt a rush of wind and a moment of weightlessness. Then Grug landed. Hard. He looked around. This wasn't his home. The landscape was alien, filled with strange structures and unfamiliar sounds. He felt disoriented, trying to make sense of his new surroundings. The air smelled funny. And where were all the trees? The scent was sharp and metallic, unlike the earthy aroma of his forest. He felt a pang of homesickness, but also a spark of curiosity about this new world. Section 5. Dino Trouble in New Place. Grug saw buildings, tall and shiny. They reached up to the sky, glistening in the sunlight. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before. The structures were made of materials that sparkled and reflected the light, creating a dazzling display. Grug felt a mix of awe and confusion as he took in the sight of this futuristic cityscape, and things that moved on round black things. What was this place? Grug had never seen such strange contraptions before. They zoomed past him, honking and flashing lights. The noise was overwhelming, and the speed at which they moved was dizzying. He wondered how people controlled these fast-moving objects and where they were all going in such a hurry. Grug heard a roar. It was the T-Rex. It came out of the glowy thing. The portal shimmered with an eerie light, and the massive dinosaur stepped through, its eyes scanning the unfamiliar surroundings. The T-Rex looked just as confused as Grug felt, but its presence was undeniably terrifying. The ground shook with each step it took, and Grug's heart pounded in his chest. More roars followed. The Triceratops, even though it was hurt. It limped through the portal, its massive body covered in wounds. The sight of the injured dinosaur filled Grug with a sense of urgency. He knew that if these creatures were here, something had gone terribly wrong. The Triceratops let out a pained bellow, its eyes filled with confusion and fear. And other dinosaurs Grug didn't recognize. They were all here. Creatures of all shapes and sizes emerged from the portal, each one more bewildered than the last. Some had long necks and tails while others had sharp claws and teeth. The city was quickly becoming a chaotic scene with dinosaurs wandering aimlessly, unsure of where they were or what to do in this strange new place. The dinosaurs were confused. They stumbled over sidewalks, bumped into buildings, and roared in frustration. The modern city was a maze of unfamiliar sights and sounds for these ancient creatures. Grug watched as they tried to make sense of their new environment, their confusion mirroring his own. They stomped around, knocking things over. People screamed and ran. The city descended into chaos as the dinosaurs' presence caused widespread panic. Cars screeched to a halt, and people fled in all directions, trying to escape the rampaging beasts. The dinosaurs, unaware of the destruction they were causing, continued to explore their new surroundings, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Grug saw his chance. He ran too. He had to get away from these dinos. His survival instincts kicked in, and he sprinted down the streets dodging debris and weaving through the panicked crowd. He didn't know where he was going, but he knew he had to put as much distance as possible between himself and the dinosaurs. His heart raced as he searched for a safe place to hide. Then, another roar, louder this time. The T-Rex was chasing the other dinosaurs. It seemed to have taken on the role of a herder, corralling the other dinosaurs and driving them back towards the portal. The smaller dinosaurs scattered in fear, trying to escape the T-Rex's powerful jaws. Grug watched in amazement as the T-Rex asserted its dominance, its roars echoing through the city streets. It herded them back into the glowy thing. One by one, they disappeared. The portal's light grew brighter as each dinosaur stepped through, vanishing into the unknown. Grug felt a strange mix of relief and curiosity as he watched the scene unfold. Where were they going, and why had they come here in the first place? The question swirled in his mind as the last dinosaur disappeared into the portal. The glowy thing vanished too. Grug was safe. For now. The portal's light faded and the city was left in an eerie silence. Grug took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. He had survived the encounter, but he knew that his journey was far from over. The future held many more challenges, and he would need to stay vigilant if he hoped to find his way back home. But where was he? Grug was stuck, in the future. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. He was in a time and place completely foreign to him, with no idea how to return to his own era. The futuristic city, with its towering buildings and strange machines, was both fascinating and terrifying. Grug knew he had to adapt quickly if he wanted to survive in this new world. His adventure was just beginning.